Okay. I'm gonna have to read.
Hold on, let me
I'm
put
gonna have to read this one off.
my
Need a little
elbows
lotion. I mean, I probably have
There's
some
a little-
actual lotion in the.
Oh, wrong elbow.
Please, can we please keep this in there? Please
No.
keep this. Yes. Everybody does that. You know, everybody does that. I've done that. Have you done that? You probably hadn't done that. You don't care.
Nah.
I've
He
definitely
wear
done that.
long sleeves.
This is true.
Elbows are never
Ashy.
showing.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's get serious.
Welcome to another episode of 6 Feet Under, a WWE and Fanatics original production.
Yes. I'm so excited about today. Oh, you're already like
Wow.
little bro.
Wow.
I'm professional, man.
Okay. No, I am super excited about today's episode because we have a dear friend in the house, somebody we consider family. Fam
Yep.
go way back, right? Everyone knows him as the world's strongest man, Olympic powerhouse, WWE legend, Hall of Famer, and one of the most genuine humans to ever walk through that locker room door.
Who wrote
So
that
they
part?
say. No, I'm just joking.
What?
I mean, come on now.
Slim
You
in
gotta
the hips
give it to him. He is slim in the hips and
and pretty in the face.
Wait.
moneymaker.
What? You got the right script?
Yeah, I didn't even finish it. We're already
I could
off
add,
course.
I could add to it.
Yeah, I'll add for you. Let me know. I mean, that
What
smile
else?
is one. Look at the smile. He's family to us, someone we both love to laugh with, and have shared countless memories with. He has the biggest smile, but an even bigger heart. Mark's story isn't just about lifting weight, it's about lifting limits, from dyslexia to dominance, from teenage records to world titles. He built a career on strength and a legacy on heart, and we are so grateful to have you. Dear friend, shed a tear.
You
He's
need-
already
you need a
shedding a
tissue?
little tear.
Not yet, but I before it's over with, I'm sure to
What?
drop at least
That'll be
2
my
or 3.
goal. That's gonna be my goal.
That's your thing, you Oprah today?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. No.
Trying to give me.
Well,
That's Oprah's main goal is to make you
everybody cry.
Yeah,
That's
Like,
that's the
legit
ratings,
just-
man. That's the ratings.
that's a rating.
That's the ratings, man. You
All
get
right,
some-
I'm gonna
you
need you to
get-
turn it off.
What
I'm
about
gonna
a
need you to turn-
story that makes everybody laugh?
What- no,
till they cry? Then
Yeah.
you got both.
Then you kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Work
Shit.
harder. I mean,
I've never
seriously.
seen anybody that looks so scary like that. You get that. You get that look, but then when you smile,
Just forget about
you
it.
you lose it. Like some people just looks. They can smile and then they look like demented. But
Diminish.
I'm not saying that about Mark. I'm saying like he can have this look on his face like he will rip your head off
I know.
and crap down your throat.
But I remember laying in bed one night and at like 2 a.m. you called him.
Oh, when
And-
Vince ribbed me?
I don't know which time it was, but I
I
remember
bet
thinking,
you that was it, because like I went nuclear. I think I blew up and killed about 30 people.
I was like,
in
what is
Des Moines,
happening?
Iowa.
Now, just to be clear, I got more than one of those phone calls from you through
yes,
the
that's
years.
what I was thinking.
But there was one that was just on a whole nother level.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
And he was but my Mark was so nonchalant. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Mark's about to kill somebody." I had to talk him off the ledge there, and I was like, "Oh,
He
so
tell
see,
you,
God
he
was
tell you what
protecting.
happened?
Which time?"
That time, Vince ribbed me in the ring. Like I went out, I was supposed to wrestle Sin Cara, and they said, "Hold on a second, like he's got a knee brace issue." And I'm looking at Scott, and I'm mad at Sin Cara now. I'm like, you mean to tell me that he back there all this time and he can't get his knee brace together? And I'm mad. And then they play his music, and he doesn't come down. I said, man, what's going on? And then they play Rey Mysterio music. All right, guys, this ain't funny no more. Then they play Vader. It's time. It's Vader time.
Nothing.
Not happy. Not happy at all. Then they play something else. And by then, now Scott Armstrong is begging for his life. Mark, I ain't have nothing to do with this. Like this, hey, this is them. And I'm hopping. I get the microphone. I said, give me the microphone. And this was the final straw. I said, listen, guys, this ain't funny. These people paid hard-earned money. Like, we're going to give... They cut the mic off.
Shoot.
I threw the mic down and start power walking. Vince and all of them run, get in the limos, and they drive off to the airport. All the TVs in Gorilla had a fist print in them. All the tables got broke. The operating board got broke.
Was it completely cleared out at this point?
Yeah, wasn't nobody up there. I just started stomping stuff. Just, and you know those metal, like the push doors, you got to push the thing in the middle? They had one of those doors in Vince's office. I was so mad that I didn't want to push it. I kicked it and missed the bar and hit the support, and it ripped out of the concrete.
I have no doubt.
Ryan Ward, poor little Ryan Ward was in there.
Oh no, Ryan. Not
And he was
Ryan.
like, Mark, it wasn't me. It was I didn't do it. They went that way. Like, he did not want no smoke.
He snitched real fast. He said
Oh
they
my
went
God,
that
poor
way.
Ryan. And I run out to the parking lot. And you know, for me to run,
Oh, you're mad.
I'm mad. And I see the limo driving off. Oh. And I'm just so mad. And I just, called Vince on his phone, cussed him out, told him I was gonna kick his ass. When I saw him, I'm done. Like, you can keep this. And I went off. And the next call,
That was
number one in charge. Hey, boss, I'm done, man. I'm done. And I didn't say those words.
Yeah, there was a few
There
more.
was-
Expletives.
It was
that
some,
were-
definitely some expletives in there, and I was not happy. And I went home. That was the worst I ever felt in wrestling. Like, I mean, I had people say racist things. I had people that was just deplorable people. Everything you could think of.
but embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Because it was me.
Yeah.
I did nothing but try to make the business better.
Was that before or after he ribbed you with the frying pan?
But the frying pan, like, that backfired. That's
Yeah,
something
that did.
that's
Yeah.
fixable.
Do you remember that?
He give you what did he give you, a skillet or something, or not
Well,
a
he
skillet?
sent them to like a equipment, like a industrial
It's like
equipment
a
place,
cast iron.
and got not a cast iron skillet, but a steel
Oh, jeez.
skillet, and it made a sound like when I started bending it, and I've bent 100 frying pans before that. Never had one I started bending it and it wouldn't budge. But then I look up and I see the red light and I'm like, oh, I'm finna be embarrassed. I can't have that. And that's when, like, guys like that Samson, when he pushed the pillars.
Right.
Like, then that stuff came out. And that's what God gave me, the ability to be able to control my strength. And sometimes I could really take it farther than what even my training allowed. And that was one of those moments where out of all the things that I wish I'd have kept that pan. I think we just probably threw it in the trash.
That's wild.
That would have.
Like, I would love to have that.
That's crazy though. Like I
Same thing with the cage. Ellis was supposed to take a foul and foul around the pin of the cage when me and Batista was in the before we did the Hell in a Cell.
right.
And he forgot. He just got busy and forgot to do it. And I go out there and start pulling on the chain. It took 9 minutes.
9.
Through commercial breaks and everything.
Oh my God.
And I'm pulling on this master lock and a real chain, and it's not going. And I was just like, I'm finna fail in front of everybody. And man, when I pulled on that chain that next time, like, I thought my fingers was gonna break. It hurt so bad. And my hands shook. Like, it was, man, I hurt for a couple of weeks after that. But when the chain, the lock broke, and then the supports that hold the cage,
Yeah.
they broke too. I would like to see them do a test on something like that. You know, they had a sports science show that tells you how much pounders
Yeah.
per square inch it took to do what I did. Because I guarantee you that you could get all the best strongmen in the world right now and they couldn't do it.
Kaya was just telling you that story. That's the story she was talking about.
If you pull it up on YouTube, 9 minutes it took me on TV, dead air and live time. And the crowd is cheering like it was meant to be that way.
It was
You know
worked
how
out
I blew
right.
up? I get blown up. I was blown up so I don't know how I was able to wrestle after that.
That's funny.
Because for 9 minutes I struggled with that thing and pulled on it, turked and turned, put my foot on it, just nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Eating well during the holidays can feel impossible. That's why I use Factor's Chef Prep dietitian approved meals to help me stay balanced and energized through this time of the year. Unlike meal kits that require prep and cooking, Factor delivers fully prepared, ready-to-eat meals in just 2 minutes. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Enjoy new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. Perfect when you're surrounded by holiday temptations. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China and Thailand and more. Think savory Korean beef bowls or Thai-style coconut curry. A refreshing break from traditional holiday fare. 97% of our customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. That's why I use Factor. It's real results, staying on track, even during the most indulgent season. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Undertaker50off and use code Undertaker50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code Undertaker50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. This exclusive holiday offer won't last. Lock in your savings before the New Year rush. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
This is a serious question. Have you ever, or has anyone ever done like some kind of study on your strength?
Well, I did. Dr. Steve Fleck did at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. And he's the guy that wrote the kinesiology textbook. And I did the section on power output. And they used to have my picture in the kinesiology textbook.
Oh, that's cool.
All colleges.
All colleges.
Ain't that crazy?
That is kind of nice.
A little boy from Silsbee. Huh. And I was the most proud of that. That was pretty cool to be in a book for somebody that could barely read one. No, I'm joking. I'm a smart guy.
But speaking of those feats, I mean, I know you've talked about it a million times, but the frying pans, we've seen him twist forks at family dinner, like just show my parents you just twist a fork like a freaking pretzel.
And so to give that context, we're not talking about bending it in half.
No.
I saw it that first time.
Twisting it like
a piece of
pretzel.
licorice.
like a stirrer.
Yes. Yeah. That was
make
absolutely the
sense.
first time that I saw you do that. Like I was just like, ooh, that's not normal.
No.
And now honestly, I mean, there's some really, really strong people in the world, but some of the things that you do are
Just unheard
they're
of.
beyond. Yes,
Yes.
they're beyond being exceptionally strong.
Just last week, a kid broke my drug-free deadlift record.
Oh.
Took 34 years for the last record that I had.
Dang, what was
got
that? That was like
broken.
900.
It was 903. He did
903.
915.
Little twerp.
Awesome. I reached out to him on social media. I said, I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, bro, welcome to the club.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
You the man now.
How old was he?
He's like 26. He young. He young. This dude might deadlift like 925, 930.
Drug free.
Drug free.
Okay. Remember the time we went to the Boys and Girls Club event? I swear you didn't even warm up. I swear you didn't warm up and you strapped on a vest and pulled a freaking semi like 100 yards or something stupid. And I was like,
I stretched.
You
like this,
stretched.
you went like, oh, little arm stretch,
So yeah,
little
so a
neck.
semi with a car carrier on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you pulled it for. I don't know. I mean,
It's
I
probably
think
like
you probably
60
pulled
to
it.
80 feet.
You pulled it. I know at least 20 or 30 feet further than I could have. What?
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 See, that's the Paul Bearer effect.
What?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Paul rubbed off on him.
I don't know if we can even blame Paul for that. That's
No,
Who was the worst? Who was it? You or was it Paul?
It
Be
was.
honest.
At what?
look at his face. Look at his face. Wait.
At ribs,
At the joking.
bro. I don't rib. I don't want to be ribbed.
Okay, wait. Time out.
Wait.
Because y'all, well, no, you were inadvertently on a rib.
What are you talking about?
The NXT rib. That. Have you
Oh,
told
he
that
was-
story before? He wasn't in on the rib, but you knew.
That's when I already
Take us
knew
back.
Mark was a real one. But
That's exactly.
do you remember? So back when Michelle was still working, her and Layla, and they brought up the guys. They brought up the guys from NXT. This is actually a pretty good story, and I don't know that I've told it that often.
Uh-huh.
I think
Bray.
Bray Wyatt, Husky was Husky Harris, then
Heath.
Heath Slater.
Uh-huh.
So they bring these guys up from NXT, and I think they're vying for their contract, right, to get pulled up to one of the main shows. And the thing is they thought they were. This was Vince's original. This was a Vince original, and I just may have came in and tweaked it a little
I
bit.
think yeah,
I may have come in and tweaked this rib a little bit, but
a little bit.
he was, he was like, oh, well, eventually they're going to have to. These 5 guys are going to have to kiss Michelle and Layla. And what he was going to do was going to sub out, and they had hired this actress, and then they had put all these things on her face, and it was going to be that. And I was like, no, you don't understand, boss. I was like, these guys are going to be physically sick because we're together at this point, right? I said, when these guys figure out they're going to have to kiss Michelle,
Oh, they were.
they're going to be sick to their stomachs. And he was like, you're right. Just like, God damn, that's good. What do you want to do? I was like, all right. I said, this is what we're going to do. Because they're in the ring rehearsing, right? And I was like, me and you, we're about to get into an argument.
But can I just
This
say,
is on the floor. This is on the floor during rehearsals and when Vince still went out at that time.
where 3 or 4 guys had already rehearsed, but every last one of them went to Layla. They're like, guys, everybody can't go to Layla. Like, some of y'all have to, but none of them.
None of them
want to
wanted,
even
they didn't
turn
want
my
any
way.
part of that, right?
No one want that smoke.
So anyway, me and Vince started having this argument at ringside. I mean, and we're going at it, right? And we're only saying it loud enough that like every third or fourth word you can actually hear. Everybody else, everything is stopped in the bowl, right? The bowl is the inside of the arena on the floor. All rehearsals have stopped, and everyone is just staring at us, and we're going at it, man, back and forth. They'd be like, "God damn, you need to be more professional." I'm like, "No, we're just going at it, right?" And so finally, I was like, well, F it. Do whatever the hell you want to do. It's your show, right? You're the boss. You do what you want to do. And then I leave. I storm out.
Throwing
right?
chairs on your way out, by
Throwing
the way.
chairs, kicking shit over, like slamming the crates shut. And by this time, I'd had my bus. So I go all the way out onto the bus. I get to the bus. Now I'm dying laughing, right? Vince turns around, shuts down rehearsals.
Cuts rehearsal. These are the guys' debut. They don't even get a rehearsal. They're already like so nervous. Then they have to, yeah.
Yeah. So he shuts down rehearsal. And now I stay in the bus. And I'm not on the bus maybe 10 minutes. First guy comes. I hear a door at the
He's
knock
like a
at the
little
door.
kid.
And I'm peeking out, I want to know who it is, right? I think it was Chavo was the first one, right? And I'm peeking out the window, and I'm not going to answer the door, right? And he knocks a few times, and I'm on the bus by myself, and I'm laughing like a
He's
little
dying
kid.
laughing.
I am just having the best time, right? So this goes on for the rest of the afternoon.
And just preface it by saying like Banks and a few other guys knew
Yeah,
you were
Banks
hot.
coming out. MVP came out. There was a few people that come out to check on me. Right? They were, which is kind of like again, they were they wanted to make sure that I was cool and what was going on. So I learned a lot about some people too. So then I think they're getting ready to do their segment, right? They're about to go out and do this segment, and I come off the bus. Like I think somebody had texted me like, okay, they're about to do this. So I come off the bus and I power walk. You know how they got the curtains draped off that lead to Gorilla, like and how everybody kind of gathers. It's like I felt like Moses
like
going through the
Sea
Red Sea,
parted.
man. Everybody just parted, and man, I hit them steps to go up, and I go. You were sitting just like that between Vince's monitors and the other monitor. You were sitting in a chair,
The back wall.
and all the guys they're all kind of huddled up there in front of probably I think it was Kidman. Probably was I don't know if he was the producer of that yet at that point, but they're all standing there
Not looking.
and they wouldn't even look at me. That when I came into gorilla position, nobody makes eye contact
Bray
with
was
me.
legit about to vomit. Like he was
White,
ghost
he was white, pale,
Oh, I felt so bad. Like he was about to yak. Like
and I
not even
stand
joking.
and I just stand behind them. Like you know, with something behind you, like something scary or
You
something.
can tell.
You can tell,
I'm
right?
not gonna look.
And you
I'm
can-
not gonna look.
I'm not going to look, but you can like see their eyes kind of trying to cut, see where I'm at. So I'm just standing there, and this told me more about you, Mark, than anything else ever. I remember I'm standing there, and then you get up, and you come stand right next to me. And I'll never forget this in a million years. You go, and Mark calls me. A lot of people call me Taker or Dead Man. Mark always called me Dead. He comes up beside me. He goes, "Dead, you just tell me which one, and I'll kill him."
That was it.
He did. You didn't know. You
I
didn't
didn't know
know
what
shit
was
from
going on.
Shinola. You had no idea
I
what
do
was
remember
going on.
this.
You had no clue, but you knew that I was pissed at somebody in that circle, and you were just like, "You just let me know."
I said, don't get your hands dirty.
That's it.
I'll do it. And I meant that shit.
Oh my
I
god!
know.
Oh,
There was
and
no
I
doubt
knew
about
that, and I almost for a second felt bad because like
And
you
MVP would have too.
He would
I
have
know.
too. He was hot too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Chavo, they kept coming up to me
Oh,
throughout the
man.
day, like, "Hey, is Tate good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's all right. He's just a little mad. What's wrong with Tate?" I'm like, "I'm trying." I just felt horrible.
yeah, she can't lie.
I felt
Right,
horrible.
she cannot lie, and like if you got to rib somebody, don't include her because she's gonna.
Hey,
She gonna ruin it.
Yeah, she gonna ruin it.
I didn't
I'm glad
ruin
to know
one.
that.
I did not ruin that.
No, you didn't, but it was like because before you remember we pulled you over. Vince and I pulled
Vince
you
called
over.
me out of the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got this nervous grin on her face, and he was like, "Quit smiling." I'm like, yeah, quit smiling. And she was like, "I can't help it."
Hey, this just hit me though. Totally kind of unrelated, but do you remember the time? So, for those of y'all that might not know, our dear friend does not like shots or needles. Do you remember the trainer's room?
Man,
We're
when-
not gonna
do you
go
remember-
there.
Dude, wait.
We're not doing this.
Yeah, we are.
This
Because
is
you-
family.
No,
This
listen.
is private family information.
No,
He can
no,
try-
this doesn't work.
He can pull a semi truck with a car carrier on it. He can bend cast
front.
iron skillets. He can rip locks off of doors.
He can tear phone books in
He
half.
can turn phone books in half. All these things. He's can world's strongest man. Put a needle in front of this man, and you
Game
better
over.
watch out.
But the best part was, okay, so we had drug testing that day, or blood work or whatever. I guess we had some blood work to
Blood
do.
work, yeah.
And you were getting blood work done, or about to have blood work done. I think maybe, you maybe took something to relax a little bit.
The doctors gave
The
him
doctors
something.
gave you
Yes.
something
They
to
used
relax
to
a
give
little
me
bit.
my Mr. T medicine.
Oh, okay, there it is. So you had your Mr. T medicine, and you were asleep. It just so happened it was a training room you could enter from both sides or something, because he and I came around the corners.
They had curtains. They had the curtains
yeah.
partitioning each little section off of
We
it.
came around the corner, and what we hear is the two doctors arguing, and they're literally going, "No, you do it. No, but what if he wakes up? No, you better get him while he's sleeping." And we're going, "What is happening?" Well, they're arguing over who's going to give you the shot while you're asleep.
Well, who's going to take your
And who's
blood?
going to take your blood and draw some blood? And we're looking at each other just dying laughing. Then they're like, "He's about to wake up." Of course, he's probably egging it on too, but
I was like,
man,
here,
we were
give me the vial.
dying.
I'll take it for me.
Oh man.
What is that all about, man?
when I was a little kid, for whatever reason, the bone in my jaw is very strong.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Well, for some reason.
So they couldn't numb the nerve for me when I went to the dentist. And even now, like my veins, like to pierce my veins, like had to get special needles because we found out that I have what they call rolling veins.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to stick it, it's not, you can't just stick the
They're
vein.
jumping.
So they move out the way, they jump. And so people they would stick me and then they would dig to try to get a vein, or they would keep like trying to poke and stuff. And it used to be so excruciatingly painful. And like, ooh.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing. My
Like,
dad,
yeah, they could,
no,
like,
no, no. My
if
dad's
it, what,
the
ha-
same
what, I
way.
mean, what
You
would you
just don't
think? Like,
understand.
if a needle came in and hit a nerve in your tooth, well, I mean,
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
well, I know, but we got to think
I
about
hate
this
that
kind
when
of
you
things,
talk
Mark.
about
Are
it.
needles worse or small spaces? Like, I know you're claustrophobic. Which one's worse? What if you had to take a needle while, like, in a casket and buried alive or something? Like, which would you choose?
What the hell?
That
What
would
kind of
take me over-
scenario is that?
Yeah, like
You go draw
you
the
sound
blood, I
like
don't
Fear
know.
Factor.
Which one's worse? Which one? Okay, if you had to choose,
The
though.
needles.
Needles are worse?
Well, we survived
We survived.
in Hawaii.
Yeah, we survived.
You know, we got locked in an elevator. We got
I've heard.
for 2.5
Not
hours.
just locked, we went up and then we freaking
It
dropped.
boom, dropped about 2 stories and then it locked.
Yes.
So now we stuck in the elevator.
And then the maintenance guys are apparently across the island somewhere.
They had
and
to
they're
call. They had to call somebody on another island, a serviceman,
It was over an
to
hour.
come to fly over to let us out the elevator.
So I know Mark's claustrophobic. I'm talking everything I can possibly think
And it's
to
just,
talk.
I'm sorry, it's just you two.
I think there were 2 other guys.
What is? Did it just get hot? Why I start sweating? Can we change the subject?
See,
You
I
want to
thought
turn the air down some more, Mark?
Ooh, man.
I thought it was bad when we dropped. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I know how claustrophobic he is. And it wasn't a big elevator. And so I'm talking Jacob, I'm talking JoJo, I'm talking Jana, I'm talking football, everything I can possibly think of to keep his mind off it. Then it starts getting hot. We're in there over an hour, and I'm like, crap. Well, listen, if you are stuck in an elevator, you might as well be. I mean, you better hope you're stuck with Mark, the world's strongest man,
I
because
had to open it.
he had. So he literally, we don't know when we're going to get help, and they're like talking to us through this little teeny tiny space.
Was it caught between the floor? Like when it dropped,
Yes,
it caught between
yes.
floors?
And
Yes.
so it's like this much of the top.
Yeah. So when they finally
So
opened the doors,
The bottom was at my face.
Yeah.
And the top was about
Got-
like right
we had
here.
to step out to get. I'm gonna step up
And
to
they
get
said,
out.
don't squeeze through there because it might click on and then it'll just cut you in
Yeah.
half.
We almost died.
So we had to stay there.
So what,
And the reason that we was able to see out is because I had a panic attack and couldn't breathe, and I had to open it
so he goes like this. He goes, hang on,
and open the door.
just enough. You remember you wedged your wallet in
and
there.
I said, "Get my wallet out of my pocket."
Yep.
And Michelle got my wallet, and I said, and it was hard to hold it open. I said, "Just put the wallet in there," and she put the wallet in there, and I closed it, and it went, and then you could feel
Just
the
a little
air coming
bit of
through.
air
So
we
we just
started
stood
getting.
there like this. Oh
Y'all.
my God, bro, it was rough.
That
was a
rough.
hard one.
So then they finally get there like an hour and 15 minutes or something later, and they open
And
up
it took a while. It took them
Yes.
another 20, 30 minutes just to turn the power back on, and it was the fail safe. So once an elevator starts to fall, it locks to the sides so you don't die. And
We almost
which I
died.
didn't know nothing about this, which I think that's a great invention,
Yeah.
Right?
by the way.
Thank you, sir.
And
Whoever did that.
Once it does that, they're permanent. So now they had to unlock those, but they have to put a support to make sure that you can lower it just to the point to where you can get out, and then everything's safe.
Jeez.
So that's what we had to
I
wait
wasn't
on.
expecting, though, when they finally opened the doors to look up and seriously think, now Mark's going to have to lift me up out of this elevator, too. Like, I knew we dropped, but I didn't expect to have to climb.
It
Man,
took
it was
3 of them
hairy.
to pull
It was
me
hairy.
out of there.
It was hairy. Golly, it was It was
Yeah, who got the short end of that deal?
not me because he opened up the elevator with his bare hands.
Oh my gosh.
It's
The
kind of like
life
that.
and times of Mark Henry.
If you're a last minute shopper like me, you know the feeling. Shelves are empty and the ideas are running low. Aura Frames is the solution with a gift that feels personal. You can share photos and videos to Aura Frames effortlessly, straight from your phone, all year long. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can even preload photos before it ships and keep adding from anywhere, anytime. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Undertaker at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Undertaker. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
I love when he would do the nonchalant stuff like overseas when we got blocked in after the arena. We're all ready to leave after we're leaving the
Oh,
arena.
that was
we're
in the
stuck
morning.
In the
That
bus
was the morning we were trying. We had to drive. We were on the
because
buses.
of curfew.
We were on the buses, and
Yeah.
our buses. We were all ready to go, but there was a little car. I say a little car. It was a car
Normal size car.
in front of us, and we couldn't. They couldn't turn out.
Right.
Right. And
We
I
was gonna have to wait or
Mm-hmm.
back up, and they said the guy was like,
yeah.
"It's too far. I can't back up. We just have to wait." And I was like, "Man, no, we're not."
All nonchalant. Just
Got
got
come off
the bus.
You had that towel. I think you're doing your sweating period.
I was 430 back then.
I know, and we needed every bit of it too. And you took that towel and you backed up to the back end of that car. You put the towel in your hands. You grabbed that back bumper and you deadlifted it up. And you took a couple steps and you put it back down. You looked at your hands, fixed the towel again, hooked onto that bumper again. You picked the back of the car up. You took a couple of more steps, and you went. That ought to be good. Sure enough,
And just got back on. Then we're out.
we got back on the bus and we took off.
As if any bit of that's normal.
Like
It's normal when we talk about like stuff that happened like that. And so I guess it's the normal for me.
It's the normal for you.
But
Not
But
now.
not anybody else in the
ain't
entire
normal.
world.
It's that's what I was asking about some kind of study because you got some kind of mutated gene. You know
geez,
what was
why's
so
it
funny?
gotta be a
I
mutant?
remember a
wanted
phone
X-Men.
call.
Why's it gotta be?
I remember the phone call after JoJo was born. It had actually been a little while, and you called me up. Hey man, he goes, Dad, she got the gene. She got the gene. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh,
I remember you
this
showed
girl.
me videos of her like
infant.
doing push-ups. Yes, like she was this big and she was doing push-ups like on top of the car in Ohio or something. I was like, what? She's on.
Joanna, like at I think 5 or 6 months, she was able to hold on bottle. She never ever had a period where, babies, they can't hold their head up.
No, she's like, I got this.
She never had that. From the first day, she was able to hold her head up and turn. Like she just strong. So like fast forward to today, she's 152 pounds. Well, that's the class that she's
wrestling,
in.
yeah.
But she's like 149, 150. She bench 180. She
what?
squat 300 pounds. She can win state in powerlifting and she don't do it.
That's
She just
Crazy.
freaky strong, and she
not to
just
say
like
Jacob
me,
isn't.
have very big issues with the dentist. They
I didn't think it was
I
going
have-
there.
Family tradition.
so I have 4 extra teeth.
Okay.
I was born with 4 extra teeth. Well, they've since been removed because of cavities, because I like candy. But full disclosure, but Joanna has the 4 growing teeth,
So she
extra
is
teeth
you.
growing in. She's me.
She is you.
Wow.
Jacob didn't, but she does. And
and
I have
just-
a long
Sorry.
forearm and a short bicep. I'm not symmetrical. Joanna's short bicep, long forearm. She's just like a recreation of me, but a
Just
girl.
copy paste.
She's strong, man.
That's funny.
One stayed in wrestling as a
Freshman.
She wants. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I told you that.
She
She
went to
she won-
nationals last year and went against the Juggernaut, the girl that came in second at the Junior Olympics. She had 24 matches. But shout out to the Juggernaut. Thank you for taking it easy on my baby.
Nope.
I heard she's a big fan of the show.
Yeah,
Just her.
she went 24 matches last year without getting scored on.
Dang.
Joanna scored on in the first 15 seconds. No respect, just attacked her. And at some point she was like, "Oh, that's what we doing?" And then Joanna got taught a valuable lesson. There's levels to this.
Yeah. Wow.
And now she's working like, okay, I want to be a champion. But she also has moments where, Dad, I'm good. I'm like, oh, really?
Yes.
You good like that? And did you watch any film on who you gonna wrestle? Nah, I don't need to do that. I was like, yeah, you do. Like, so there's a lot that you can allow them to think, have this false sense of your self-worth is more valuable than work ethic.
Right.
Or you could be a real parent and be like, no, somebody's gonna whoop your butt because
Right.
you're not trained. You're not. And I'm talking physically. I'm talking about mentally focused. That's the thing that I had more than anything is the fact that I knew how to sacrifice, and I was not gonna let you tell me I can't do something.
Right.
I'm just too bullheaded for you to say, Mark, you just can't do that. Nobody can do that. Like, okay, it's gonna get done today. And if I can't do it today, I'm gonna do it next year. That was the thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger said is, I failed on TV lifting the inch bell. And that was one of the most disappointing things in my life because the whole world saw it. Like, if you fail and nobody see it,
That's one
did
thing.
it really happen?
Did it really happen?
not in my
Right.
mind.
If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Well, that didn't happen in my case. I picked up something and I couldn't lift it. And I said, next year I'm gonna lift it over my head. And Arnold was like, okay, man, like, this
Yeah, he
has been
laughed you
around.
off, right?
It's
Because
been
nobody had no one had even lifted it.
Nobody had, well, people had said it had been lifted, but Thomas Inch, the New York phone book, probably about as tall as this, he was able to pick it up and put it on the New York phone book. And that became the standard. If you was able to lift it, you got $5. So in 1900 and something, $5 was like $5,000.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Nobody was going to do it. That's how confident everybody was. Even me now. When I take the dumbbell places, I say that if you lift it over your head, I'll give you $10,000. And people are like, take their shirt off, get their hands all right, and they go, wait a minute, you know, it's a magnet. Put it over there in the dirt.
Right.
You know, like everybody. I said, man, you can take it wherever you want to.
So give me the
specs on
the
it.
specs on
The Thomas Inch, formerly known as the unliftable dumbbell, is 172.7 pounds.
which is heavy, but
Which is heavy, but it's
not
liftable.
Yeah.
But the handle, this is probably like under 2 inches in diameter because my fingers, I'll do it this way. So your fingers, they can touch. This is open like that. It's the Thomas Inch leaves an opening about that, almost an inch in between my fingers. I have very long fingers. So it helps with my grip. But I worked on my grip a lot. And just to be able to hold a 900-pound deadlift means you got to have a strong grip.
strong hands. Yeah.
So, like, I did all this training, and then that's when I came up with the gripping system that I created called the Stronghold. And I'm gonna start selling it here pretty soon, but like that's the thing that I'm the most proud of. My kids have done it since they was old enough to start training. When they turn 11 is when I start working with them. And both of them have been, everybody in my house won state in something. Jana won state in gymnastics in Ohio. Jacob won state in wrestling. Joanna won state in wrestling.
Yeah, don't sleep on Jana. She was a D1.
Yeah, she was a day one
gymnast.
athlete. And everybody, the common denominator is grip and strength. And I was like, y'all, you got to have strong grip. And it's, you know, we get beach towels and do pull-ups and do exchanges where you take if you put it over a bar and you got a towel and you pull one side and push the other side up and you do like mountain climbing, like with your grip. There's so many exercises that'll increase your grip and it don't take long. Like a grip exercise workout is probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most. If you still able to button a button, then you didn't work hard enough.
I got
Just
you.
shaking.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you can button the button, you didn't work hard enough. Because like you need the fatigue grip strength to failure. To
Right.
where after that, you're not doing homework. You can't hold a pencil.
Finding a therapist is hard enough, but finding one who actually takes your insurance? That's where most online therapy platforms fall short. Many don't work with insurance at all, which means you're stuck paying the full cost out of pocket or paying for the most expensive monthly subscription. Rula does things differently. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, making the average copay just $15 per session. The real therapy from licensed professionals at a price that actually makes sense. Think about it. You use your insurance benefits to maintain your physical health. So why wouldn't you do the same for your mental health? And Rula isn't just affordable. The experience is tailored around you. Other online therapy platforms might match you with the first available provider. Whether they're the right fit or not, Rula considers your goals, preferences, and background to provide you a curated list of licensed, in-network therapists who are actually aligned with what you need. They know that finding the right therapist can make all the difference. No wait lists, no frustrating back and forth. Rula makes it easy to find a mental health provider who is accepting new patients, and appointments are available as soon as tomorrow. Plus, Rula sticks with you throughout your journey, checking in to make sure your care is helping you to move forward. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/6feet to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you. That's RULA.com/6feet. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Y'all are making me think of Krav, not working hard enough and not being able to move. And remember sparring that day?
Harry?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
So I forget that I don't know what of the manias I was getting ready for.
I don't know either.
And Harry had invited you to come do our workout, and we did we got through all the workout and
It was
everything.
awful.
And so at the end of all the weights and the cardio and all of that, then he'd make me wrestle at the end of it, like shoot wrestle, to like I had to get off of my back, right? And he would. I mean, one day he had brought in like 6 people. Because that was the big thing at the end of my career. That was the biggest thing I always worried about. I didn't care so much what I looked like, but I wanted my cardio to be
Up there.
next level, right? Because it's so difficult to have good cardio when you're taking long breaks like that. So, and one day you were in there, and I think you had already made a go out of it, and he said, "Mark, come here, come get on him," and you were like, "No." If I hurt him, I'll never see.
done.
I'll never see the thing.
I'll have to move to Mars.
That was the greatest. I was never more happy to
You,
hear an
yeah,
answer.
you were so your
I
face
was so
like,
thrilled. 'Cause
oh.
I was thinking because I couldn't even breathe at this point, and I was just like, man, he gets on me. I was like, I'm gonna have to stick my thumb in his eye or something because
Hey, going back to, I wanted to ask this a second ago, but talking about hands and grip and all that made me think of like, I thought both of you were certifiable like crazy.
Yeah,
Are you?
I am.
I believe that. I know you are. Both of you are.
Do you
But
hear,
going back
do you
to
hear voices?
in my head,
No, that's
they
Randy.
talk to
Oh,
me,
yeah, that's right.
they
That's
Yeah.
right.
understand.
But I can't sleep at failure.
But no, I'm talking about not that kind of crazy. I'm talking about like
No, I'm-
attitude era birthing hands.
That
crazy.
wasn't me. That was
I saw
Vince.
you on my screen though, with a
I thought it was
baby
hilarious.
hand being birthed.
So go back and look at that video.
You're abducting Steph. Midian's running around like half naked or something, and some I don't know.
Boogeyman is biting
Warts
growths
off of people's
faces.
faces.
Like
What?
you have to be a little bit crazy to be in wrestling.
I agree, but did
Just
y'all-
what you do with your body. Think about
True.
the pro wrestling is the most unnatural thing to train
Yes.
in any other sport because it's not just sport, it's also a facade.
right?
And it's taken all of this 30 years next year to come to be able to say that. But to fall backwards and land flat on your back
Hurts.
is one of the most unnatural things you could do. To fall face forward on the ground is unnatural. Allowing somebody to turn you upside down.
Yeah, how does that feel? How does that feel when he does that? Is it terrifying that
It's,
you're about to
it's
get
terrifying
dropped
because
on your head?
your life is in their hands.
I know exactly.
And all due respect to Taker and everybody else that ever gave pile drivers, it's you feel out of control.
yeah.
And I like my whole life has been about being in control. So it was like for me to get put in the tombstone and me to take Goldberg's finish and for me to let Kurt Angle give me the angle slam, all of those things where your head is pointed down, like it was hard for me.
So you take him diving over the top rope
Any
on that
day.
dive and catching him any day versus
Any day, like that's might as well put me in the elevator again.
you know what's really messed up is this stat that I read. I read that y'all have had 64 matches together, non-televised and televised. And you put him over every single time.
And
That's messed-
he never got hurt, and neither did I.
Oh no, I believe that 1,000%.
why are you trying to stir up stuff?
I'm
man?
just saying.
Why
It
are
was
you
just
trying?
a
Why are
random
you always
stat
trying to
that
stir up stuff?
It was just a random
You're
stat
an
that I saw.
instigator.
She is an instigator, right? She like
And try to be so innocent
right.
in doing it
Come,
too.
preach, Mark. Preach.
Geez, here we go.
She's
You're on his side?
totally just tried
Wow,
to.
I can't
turn
believe you
you.
just tried to
I
turn
can't
me
believe you
against
just turned
him.
on me.
I was about
I'm
to.
not turning against you.
I'm just saying, man.
You that's called sympathy.
Marcus.
Feel sorry for me. I'm busted.
Mark, no. That's true. That's a fact on the paper.
Yeah, but still, like nobody got hurt.
I didn't say anybody got hurt.
We survived.
Y'all did survive. You're here to tell the story.
my probably my greatest feat of strength
Was lifting him.
was tombstoning you.
Had
You
to
think
be.
I more than didn't you tombstone? No, I guess I was the heaviest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you were the heaviest.
Did he go up the heaviest?
He-
though?
no,
Probably
he
not.
went up like a
No,
champ.
That's what I'm saying. He,
He
didn't
went
go
up
the
like a
heaviest.
champ.
You see how I looked over there?
Yeah,
No, that,
right?
that was a rhetorical. Like,
What?
Yeah.
no.
No, you went up. You went up like a champ.
Who's the
man.
heaviest?
was
But there's
thinking-
still once you get though. But when somebody your size though, even
Little
once you get
medium.
them up there on the shoulder, that's then you okay. That's like okay. That's part one.
I was helping you. You didn't realize it.
No, I
was-
know no,
was
believe
saying,
me.
Light as a feather. Light as a feather.
And you
Light
did.
as a feather.
Yeah. No,
I
it
kept
was.
telling myself.
I had all of that adrenaline because like that's during the whole match at WrestleMania 22.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about is like at the end of this, I'm going to try and tombstone him, and like
and not kill him.
and try and that's the biggest thing is not
Well,
hurting
yeah.
somebody,
Not killing
and and so I had got you up on the shoulder. I was like, oh, that was good. But now I've got to move you from my shoulder and put you in that
hard
spot
cam.
and hold on for dear life. Because I was like, man, that I was pretty proud. I was pretty proud
Aren't
after
you
that.
glad that you didn't have that match with Big Show?
Well, I mean,
Can you imagine?
no, there's no. I wouldn't even. He's so.
I just did that because
yeah.
I know. I saw that.
You're
I
gonna
saw
get
that.
you're gonna
I
get a
saw
text
that. I
when this
saw
comes out.
that.
You're gonna get.
I'll get a phone call. Hey, why'd you do that?
Why'd you do me
Why'd
like
you do
that, man?
this? I was like, no. Did I do that? I actually did like this, like where the fingers touch.
You just called me out. I'm not backing you on this one. Hi, Paul.
And two, and on the dive too. Like, there's only a few people that I really like trusted. Kane, I trusted you. Like, because a lot of times I got olayed, man.
Scammers know the holidays are busy for everyone, which can make us all targets for scams. That's why Cash App builds in protection to help keep your money safe while you're checking off your Christmas list. If you're about to send money to someone for a deal that's too good to be true and Cash App flags it as potential scam, they'll warn you before you send the money. Cash App also gives you an extra layer of protection with features like Security Lock. You can require a PIN, Face ID, or fingerprint to unlock your account and move money. If someone gets a hold of your unlocked phone at a holiday party, your money is right where you left it. Gift yourself some peace of mind this holiday season and download Cash App. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App. Use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile. Send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services are provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit Cash App/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
I had some regret. I had some things that could have been handled way different. I could have been more responsible. I think about them more than I think about
Yeah.
successes. Like, I forget some of the stuff that was good
Yeah.
because you expect, oh, that's supposed to be that way. But the stuff that goes awry, man, that's the stuff that just irks you.
Yeah, but it depends on what you like in the match or physically. Those things are just going to happen. Like, and then you learn. I think even whether it's a decision or you said you would be more responsible, as long as you learn from those things that go wrong, and you grow as a person, I don't know that you can truly have that much regret. Like, if you keep doing the same stuff over and over, okay, I get that. But I mean, we get to our path and we get to our place in life through our mistakes and things that we wish we had done different.
Yeah.
That's the way I look. And I didn't always look at it like that. Like, I would beat myself up over a lot of things, but it's kind of where we finish, and that's all part of, in my opinion, that's part of the journey, is making the mistakes and learning from the mistakes and not making them again, and then being able to pass on that knowledge and that understanding to other people.
Well, Lord knows between the two of y'all, passing on knowledge. I mean, how many people have you? I know you speak all the time about Bianca. How many people have you?
Champions?
Just in general.
Just in general, but I mean,
you brought a lot of people to the table, man.
I feel like
It's
every other
probably
person.
about 12 of them.
Dang.
12 that have been like world champion or tag champion. I remember I saw Apollo Crews and Rich Swann in Japan. And we were over there in Japan, wrestling at, Kobo Hall and, the big time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm watching TV and I see wrestling on TV. They got strong wrestling in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And I see these two dudes, and they just entertain the hell out of me. And I remember getting back, the next show in America was in Columbus, Ohio. And I went in Vince's office and I said, hey, man, I saw these two dudes tag team in Japan. It is incredible, man. I was like, they need to work here. And he said, well, bring them here. And I said, what you mean, bring them here? And he said, just bring them here and let's take a look at them. And that was the first time that I ever got the permission to bring somebody into wrestling. But during that time, I had started going to NXT, or it wasn't NXT then, it was Florida Championship.
FCW. Yeah, FCW.
So I started going to FCW doing big man camps. So I only worked with the big dudes. And I ain't never taught no girls, never taught none of the smaller guys, just the big ones. And we had fun because my whole philosophy working with big guys, can you do it to everybody? Can you do it safely? Mm-hmm. And do you get tired?
Yep.
Don't get tired. Saves everything else. So you don't work at a pace which allows you to be impaired.
Yeah.
Because the more you go in the match, in the deep water, you take 20-minute match, and you don't have enough oxygen going to your brain, you start to forget,
Game
you start
over.
to put somebody's life in jeopardy. So that's the number one. That's like the thing that's the most important to me. But everything that you do, you have to be able to do it to everybody, and you have to be able to do it safely. And so we had these fun deals, and then Vince called me and said, hey, Gerald Briscoe is going to the Olympics, and we want you to go with him. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I started traveling with them and thinking from a recruiting standpoint, which I had never done before. And then the more that I did it, people started reaching out to me going, hey, can you get me into wrestling? And I was like, that ain't my department. I just do it for fun. And then it ended up becoming a thing. So the first one was Braun Strowman. Oh. He became world champion. Then Baron Corbin was next, and he became champion. Before them, I didn't train Bryan Danielson. Right. I just saw Bryan on TV and said, hey, y'all need to get this dude. And because I saw a match he had, and I was like, this dude is good as the people we got on WWE. Like, and I lied. And I told them that he was like 6 feet tall because they wanted bigger guys. And like 200 pounds. And it was Bryan Danielson, who was 5'11", maybe.
Yeah.
Man, to have somebody that's a Hall of Fame caliber wrestler that you can hang your hat on is pretty damn cool. Yeah. And then it got to the point to where I saw Bianca Belair at the national championships for CrossFit. And she's doing cartwheels. Like, you're supposed to be conserving energy.
Yeah.
Right.
She's doing cartwheels between the implements. And she had on like a
one of those little
fluffy
skirts.
tutu
Yeah.
and like a big giant Mickey Mouse bow in her hair.
While she competes. Yeah.
While she was competing. I said, this girl don't need to be in this. She needs to be a wrestler. Like, she's entertaining.
She was already doing it, yeah.
And so I said, let me look her up on social media. So I looked her up, and she was like 18 or 17 or something like that. And I was like, damn, I ain't calling no young girl. Let me see who could do this for me. So I got Mark Carano to get one of the ladies. I think it was Kathy or who does the other travel now? Holly was the one that called her, and I said, "Can you call this girl and get her information? Find out who her mom and dad is. I need to talk to somebody's parents."
Oh my gosh!
And so they reached out and called the girl, and she was like, Mark Henry, like the wrestler Mark Henry, and I said, tell her I need to talk to her dad or mom or somebody. And her dad called me the next day, and I talked to him. He said, "Is this really the real Mark Henry? You know, we've been watching wrestling for years." It's like, and I was like, "Yeah,
Got
to
her.
be.
Got
I was
him.
like, it was meant to be, and that just became like the pitch. Now I reach out. I probably had it's 16 of them that have either been in a title match or won a world title.
That's impressive.
And something. So my success rate is real high, and there's a couple of them. They had a big deal at Full Sail. At now
Yeah.
it's the Performance Center, but it was WrestleMania probably 17 or 18. That was 17 the year before I retired, and there was like 20 kids of color down at the facility training. Montez Ford was one of them. It was a bunch of those. The kids now that you see in wrestling, they were kids back then,
Right.
like real,
Oh,
like
yeah.
17, 18-year-olds that never had any. And about 16 or 17 of them were invitees from me. And they all were like, "How'd you get here?" You know, I wasn't there.
Talk
I'm
about
just going by
15%.
the story that Bianca was saying. And everybody went around the table going, "Oh, yeah, Mark Henry called me and told me I should be in wrestling. And that's going to be the thing that I live me."
Well, it's like anywhere in the world, we were always like, somebody, no matter where we went, was like, "Do you know Mark Henry?" And you think it's just people that maybe like, you know, they're just talking, you know, throwing out names, name dropping. Then you'll be like, "Oh yeah, just give him a call." And I'm like, "How do you know
I got used to it
this
here.
many people?"
Like I can't go anywhere here in town. Well, I don't have at least one person. Like, "You know Mark?" I'm like, "Yes, I know Mark
Who
very
doesn't
well."
know Mark?
Oh, he's a good dude. I was like, "Oh, he's all right."
Yeah. Hey, but I tell you, if you really want to use my network, get hungry.
Oh,
Believe me.
I was like, you get hungry, and if it's a top tier famous chef in Austin, I know him.
we know that. We couldn't get in for an anniversary dinner at a sushi
For-
joint downtown, and you
Uchi.
called at
Uchi.
Uchi, and you're like, hang
Wanted
on,
to
give
take
me a
her to
second.
Uchi. Like I tried. Like, no, there's no place. There's nothing. And I was like,
Tyson
Called you.
Cole, baby.
I was like, that's what I thought.
Thank
I
you,
was like,
Tyson.
Mark knows.
Yes.
Mark knows. Hey, Mark, can you get? There we had
So
a
be there
table.
at
we call
6:30.
him right now and be
I
like,
was like-
Tyson, can you get us in there tonight?
It was good too.
Yeah, Mark. How many you got with you?
It was good.
That's my guy.
I think he like had a bottle of wine at the table. I'm like, dang, we went from not being able to get in this restaurant
Yeah, it was a bottle
To
of
get in a
wine.
bottle of
seating,
wine.
bottle of wine.
They had a bunch of sushi samplers stuff. Yeah,
Everything.
It was
That Hot Rock. So I just introduced Ice Cube. You know, Ice Cube had his concert at the movie center last week, and
During ACL? Was it?
During
Yeah.
well, after it
was after
a
ACL?
standalone.
Okay.
And his son O'Shea Jr. came into town, and you know, like he's another one. He's not a wrestler, but he loved wrestling. You know, Ice Cube used to always come to bring him when he was
Yeah.
a little boy, all the way up to, and I saw him arguing with fans on social media about wrestling. And I reached out and I said, "Listen, is this really O'Shea Jackson?" He said, "Yeah, is this really Mark Henry?" I said, "Hey man, send me your phone number." So I called him. I said, "Hey, stop arguing with fans. You look stupid doing that. Like they're gonna argue a point that they don't know shit about. Like you quit cussing and being unruly because
Yeah.
he was.
He was
I
mad.
browbeat him.
Yeah.
And I love the kid. And I said, look, if you want to do radio or you want to do something, let me hook you up. And now he's got the #2 podcast show in pro wrestling.
Really?
Yeah. No Contest Wrestling. Y'all can Google it. Like, it's a good show. And like he's under the
Not as good as this one.
Not as good as this, but you know, I told you that I was gonna have to come back and do this because there was so much stuff that we didn't talk. We didn't talk about us getting stuck and like our relationship, like just being people that like my career took a drastic change when you started to mentor me, when you started to help and say, "Hey, man, you need to do this," or "I know you probably don't like this person, but like, go and listen." And I told you, fantasy football, I go with my heart and my feelings way too much. And like, I wouldn't even pick somebody that was good because they played for a certain team.
In fantasy football.
Right. And so in real life,
Oh, I can't.
I'm even worse.
No.
So now I realize I have to do business with everybody.
Yeah.
And, so I bought a company called All Caribbean Wrestling. And, like, I never got to call shots before. And it's like the funnest thing in the world. Like, to be able to help write the program and work with a good team of people that want to see the company do well. And we're getting now to the point to where we getting sponsors that could pay people more money. So it's like, man, this has been the biggest dream that happened since wanting to have kids.
Did you we know you grew up in Silsbee. Your dad, he was a cattle rancher, right?
No, my dad was a musician. My
Where did
dad played backup guitar for B.B. King for a little while. But he was a gambler and a drinker, and he just messed his life up.
And then your mom, she worked several jobs. She had no
Cleaning
quit in her.
houses. Like cooking, like she was a famous cook in East Texas.
Older brother, Pat, right?
Yeah.
How much older was he?
He's 2 years older.
2 years.
He just went in the Wall of Fame at our high school. He was on that wrecking crew defense at Texas A&M. They was the #1 defense for 28 years.
So
30
it
years.
is in the blood because you had
was
a great
we
uncle.
have 5 Super Bowls winners in our family
That's not normal.
and 2 Olympians. I'm one of the 2 Olympians.
Who's the other
Jana's
one?
dad
Oh, I knew
was
that.
the
The boxing.
alternate in
Yeah.
boxing.
Yeah. Didn't you have like a great uncle Chud
Adams.
Yeah. That
Chud.
he kind of started like the whole.
He wasn't an athlete because
he
that was just a hair out of slavery.
but he was strong. Like the whole
But
town
he
knew.
was famous in
Yeah.
East Texas. Like
Yeah.
he used to pull logs out of the woods. He never had a pair of shoes. Used to wear moccasins or go barefoot all the time. And my grandmother used to say all the time, "Oh, Mark is like my favorite cousin Chud, like just smaller."
just
Just
smaller.
smaller.
He
Yeah,
was like
he-
6'7", and my
And
uncle
big.
DeWitt, my grandmother's other cousin, I remember as a kid, like I was probably 10, but I was 200 pounds minimum at that age. And when we used to go to Jasper, Texas, to his house, he would pick us up and
Throw you.
he never in my life. There's nobody
You
ever
tossed.
since used to pick us up as a kid. So I started doing that. So when I see Kaya,
Yes,
I
she
always
loves
throw
it,
it.
yes.
That's my Uncle DeWitt. He used to, he picked us up and put us on a tractor. Like, you don't have no leverage if you was up on a tractor and you reach down and pick somebody up.
Just
We was 200 pounds.
Pure
That dude,
strength.
Man, he was crazy strong. Crazy strong.
so I want to get back to like your dream of that. But Jacob did that to me a couple years ago. I'm not
picked
used to
you
getting
up?
tossed either. And he was at the school, and I came up behind him. He goes, and he picked me up and slung me around. I was like, wee, like a little kid. I was like, that was fun. But did you want to wrestle as a kid?
I didn't know I could. I
Didn't know that was
a
even a possibility.
Like I was it was all football until I saw Vasily Alexiev and then fell in love with lifting and realized that, there's professional lifting. Like you could be lift stuff and get famous.
Yeah.
Like that became my thing. But man, like my grandmother was the big when she died. We had to go through all her stuff. We cleaning out stuff. She had all these photo albums, wrestling bills, called autograph photos, Ernie Ladd, autograph for Jose Lothario, autograph. Man, she had everything.
Wow.
And one of the things in her deal, was an autographed paper like that for me.
And you never knew she had these things.
I didn't know what happened to it, but Jose Lothario signed an autograph for me, and it had blood on the paper because his head was bleeding. He was doing like this, and blood was on it, and my grandmother still had it.
This give me chills.
Yeah.
Wow.
She kept it all them years. Man,
You still have it?
yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Your love of wrestling runs deep, man. I mean, because you're still. I mean, you're still involved in.
I watch 14 hours of wrestling a week.
Holy moly.
I do 2 shows, Busted Open, Off the Ropes, 3 days a week. So altogether, I do like 18 hours of wrestling a week.
In that 18 hours, anybody that you'd put up against the nation or the ministry? Oh, wait.
The
Whoa.
ministry?
Or how about this, nation versus ministry?
That would be hard. Like I thought DX was hard. DX and the ministry, like me and D-Lo would have killed Mitty in Big House. We'd have destroyed them. Ron Simmons
Oof.
and Rock and Godfather.
Wait a minute. I get claim on Ron first.
I was about to say, who get...
Ron and John were with me before they were in the nation.
Then they can't be in. We can't even do that because it like.
But you can't take claim on the... I mean, we going straight nation versus...
So it would like Ron.
No, wait,
if
maybe
Ron
they were
couldn't be
first.
in it, we can't do it because he was a heavy hitter.
I think Ron can be in it, yeah. Why couldn't Ron be in it? I mean, he was...
Because it would be Ron or Rock were the 2 principals. Dead was the principal, so he would go against Rock or Ron, and then the second guys, yeah, it'd been the nation. We'd have had to drug him. It would have been. Dead would have beat Rock,
Oh, yeah.
and he would have beat Ron, and me and D-Lo and Godfather, we would have beat everybody else in the ministry.
With one hand.
That's good booking, sounds like to
I
me.
know, I'm thinking, this could
It's a
be
good
interesting.
trade-off. I mean, you can't have everybody do the
No,
job.
right? Not everybody. Everybody can. I like that.
That's why I had all those guys.
Brian Lee,
Do all
come
the
on,
work.
man. You're going to put Brian Lee
Dude,
against Ron
he
Simmons.
he was not in my ministry.
Oh,
Okay, who all
All
was
right,
in
so
the-
all right, check it out. So I had Ron and John, I had Midian, and I had Viscera. I think that was it.
Yeah, me, D-Lo, and Godfather was job them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Trying to think who, but like,
But I got to look back. Wait.
you and Ron and John, you Ron and John. That's like we had to put Ron against himself. This is fantasy warfare.
Damn.
Ron would have to wrestle himself. I would have to wrestle Viscera.
Ron would have to wrestle himself.
And Godfather would have to wrestle Bradshaw or John.
Oof.
And Rock would have to go against Dead.
Some taters thrown in that
Which one? And
bunch of them.
D-Lo would have been standing there going,
Big news. WWE and sports fans. The world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July. Meet your favorite WWE superstars, get your hands on exclusive merch, catch live podcasts, and interact with the biggest names in sports. Tickets are on sale now, and fans of the podcast get a 10% discount by using code Taker10 at checkout.
When did or how did the whole mentorship happen? Like, do you recall any certain?
Because he was always nice and respectful of me being me, not the wrestler.
The person, got it.
Like, and I always ask questions to the point where he would be like, oh, he knew he had to answer wrestling questions.
He was audible doing that.
When I would come, yeah, you can hear him. You know what
I've
I'm
heard
talking
it.
about.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I hated to do it, but I was just like, I wanted to know.
Right.
And because he talked to me, because back then, like, it was a lot of contentment for me in wrestling, because I was the only I was the developmental wrestler. There was no such thing as developmental wrestlers when I came in. To be able to have somebody to ask questions and they wasn't gonna bullshit you, or they wasn't gonna, tell you the wrong thing to do on purpose. When I had people tell me the wrong thing, and guys that I like now, that since we've grown up and told me to do the wrong stuff, ribbing me, like, oh yeah, they're gonna love that. And then it was like, I got told to, hey man, just get up and shut the curtain in the first class. Because back in the day, in first class, they used to have a curtain. And so I got up and went, closed the curtain. Everybody on the plane wanted to kill me. But nobody wasn't gonna try. And so I'm up there in first class and nobody told me, Mark, whenever you see one of the veteran guys, give your seat up to them. Nobody told me until he did. Like,
Well, that's just because I wanted your seat.
You told me to give my seat to Steamboat. I gave my seat to, you don't even remember that. I gave Ricky Steamboat my seat, and he was like, no, you big, you need to take this. Nah, man, I'm going in the back. What seat you got? We exchanged tickets. And when I was walking down that aisle, guys was like this.
Okay.
All right. That's how he helped me.
Got it.
Integrate me into being one of the boys.
Yeah.
And of course, it still didn't work. I ended up going to Canada for a year and a half, but that was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I got to meet Brett's dad, and Stu asked me, you know how to fight? And I was like, yeah, I know how to fight. And he said, all right, come over to the house. What a setup. Like, there was a dude, Rodney Blackbeard, one of Bad News Brown student. He was a bad human, and he beat the shit out of me. And he's like, okay, now you're gonna learn what a headlock feels like. Now you're gonna learn how to do a rear naked. Now you're gonna so I learned how to fight. And that was because of Stu and me being up in Canada. I'm at Brett's house. We got Ken Shamrock. Andrew Martin was up there his first week learning how to wrestle. Glenn Culker, who was a 10, 12-year Calgary Stampede all-star football player. They brought that stiff Occam Albright up there. He was one of the top 10 most rotten wrestlers of all time. Yeah, I said your name. You can't kick my ass. It was a lot that, like, I was up there, and Owen used to come and laugh. Oh my God, he would come over to Stu's house and watch us get stretched.
Just entertainment.
Just for entertainment. He'd get off the road, have his bags in the car. He'd like, just watching us get stretched by these MMA type guys.
Yeah.
And I thank God for Brett, man, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today, because he's the one that told Vince, like, you put the dude behind the 8 ball, of course he was going to fail. Like, y'all didn't teach him nothing. You expect it to just happen?
Right, yeah. So
that's why I got sent to Canada, because he was like, well, you take him. I was a throw-in. I was going to be out of the business.
Yeah, you came in at an end of an era where the guys were still trying to protect their spots and weren't readily wanting to help anybody. And then coming from, you were high profile,
Right.
coming. So you're one of the first high profile guys that come in. Now you know about wrestling, but you're green.
Right.
And you're in at that
Gullible.
at that era, yeah, because now you're seeing guys that you've watched on TV, and now your peers, and you're just like, wow, this is great, but they're still a little bit salty and just kind of old school to the point of, and that was just at that time period. That's just the way it was, and that's one of the fortunate things that we've evolved out of. I think there's more of a.
I have you have your favorite and your people that you dislike, or would you be
course.
willing to even mention?
Do
them?
tell. Personally and professionally, please.
Man, you just put me on the spot.
You want me to tell?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Oh, I was gonna tell his.
Oh no, we only talk our own dirt. You can't mention other people's dirt. That's against the
I was
rules.
messing. I don't even know who he's
Who'd
saying.
you like the most?
Working?
Who was the nicest? Who was the
Oh, Tori.
who taught you the most?
Tori was definitely the nicest from day one.
Who was the one?
And then when I met Sharmell, when Sharmell came in,
okay,
and they're still both sisters. Who was?
the worst.
Look, I came in Dawn Marie time. She was my first match,
She ain't like you.
and she didn't know me. No, she was. I think it was just a new person coming in. She talk about going out and doing the wrong thing on purpose. That was rough. That was rough.
My favorite was Yoko, because and I thought it was disrespectful for them to ask me to be his driver and his handler, because it's like, man, I'm Mark Henry, man. You want me driving, carrying people bags and shit? Like, I don't want to do that. And it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me in wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you learn a little bit from
Oh
him?
my God. Like after I went and got him some food and put the bags in the car, or did all the menial stuff, like he'd be like, go put your gear on, meet me at the ring. And that's how I learned how to leg drop. That's how I learned how to elbow drop. That's how I learned how to run the ropes and like all of the stuff initially. And then they hired Tom Pritchard because he retired. And then they were like, okay, it's your job to train him. And Tom was like, oh my God, I never did this before. and he started working with me, and then I break my damn ankle 3 weeks in. They were just like, oh, this is a disaster. But like Yoko was the man. Like I never bought a meal. Like he always took care of me. And he would ask me, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Because if you could spit it back,
Does
then you're
that
learning.
make sense to you? And I was like, well, you didn't have to say it like that.
Yes, he did.
Like, but he was
Yeah.
Yeah.
matter of fact. He ain't no bullshit. Like
None.
he that dude right there. Have you ever seen Baby play basketball?
Seen what?
Did you ever see Yoko play basketball?
Oh, no.
Oh my
A
God.
good move.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've heard stories from Mark, but
That dude could ball, spin move,
that's wild.
and 480 pounds, close to and could spin move and go underneath the basket layup
Smooth.
on your butt every time. Boy, he was
Did you
good.
play him?
Yeah.
Probably on the same team because
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't
what I
want to
said.
be you don't want to be on the opposite team. He was cold blooded, but the worst ones were I came in a time when there were guys who used to tell black jokes loud so you could hear them. I wanted to kill every one of them, and like some guys ended up doing it because Ron used to tell them to do it because he knew that it was gonna make me mad, and Ron liked seeing me angry. He thought it was entertaining. I was like, Ron, why would you do that, man? Like, and he was like, man, I'm just playing, man. That was you entertain as hell when you're mad. And
That sounds.
yeah, it's horrible. He ain't right. But Ron was like a father figure too. He was one of my favorites.
I love him.
I just dislike Ahmed Johnson. I dislike Ryback because they were so selfish, and they weren't great representatives for pro wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't like Sean.
Oh, yeah.
That's been stated. But it got to a position like,
At least he got saved.
yeah, he got
and
saved and
changed.
turned himself around. And
You
now
know, he
we're,
apologized to me.
nah, I don't doubt that one bit. Yeah.
Man, that dude, I could not believe it. I was like, you know, like his TV show Punk, and you're like, okay, where's the cameras? Like, stop it. And he was in tears.
Oh.
Like, he had real
Remorse.
regret and remorse. And, like, I just hugged him because he was just like, I didn't mean to be that guy. Like, I didn't know that I could be better. Like, I was like, wow, boy. Oh, speaking of God, I always keep
He's gonna be
a little Jesus, and I got you a little Jesus too.
Well, she tells me all the time.
That
You need a little Jesus.
Now you
Look,
got it.
he just
Now
saved
you got a
you.
little
Yep, look
Jesus.
at that
There you
little
go.
Jesus
You
in
put a
your
little
life.
Jesus
Little
right
Jesus
there.
is
Y'all
there
need
from now
Jesus.
on.
Yes.
Yeah. You won.
All right.
Okay, before we ask some of these rapid fire questions, I do have one quick. I don't know why this
Uh-oh.
just hit me, but y'all been talking about fighting and bar fighting and legit fighting and this fighter, that fighter. Bar fight. Give me 3 guys. Who would you take in a bar fight? You could only choose 3.
Haku.
You can't take.
Number
okay.
1.
Okay, let's go 5.
And I might just clone him twice.
You can't clone. You can't claim.
And
you
then
can't
the
clone.
rest of us could just go sit down because
You can't clone.
2 haikus and you can rule
Game
a small
over.
nation.
A small nation, not even a town or a state, a nation. They're just
I'm just gonna go with just complete shock and awe here. 3, only get 3.
go 5.
All right, I'll go 5.
No clones.
All right, Haku, Mark, Show.
Oh,
You can't hurt them.
okay.
You can't hurt them. I'll put.
Were you
I'll
there
put
when
Bro-
Big Show and Khali fought?
No, I would
was.
pay so
I
much
was.
money
I know.
to have been there.
Sorry, babe. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that I to his credit, Khali can take a shot. Because Show flushed him. I mean, it sounded like taking a big old ribeye
was-
steak and throwing it on the counter.
Like,
it was like, and he
Yeah, that
he
was
rocked. I don't know if something held him up.
the locker.
But if I'd have
remember?
hit him that way, I would have had to look and see what was holding him up from behind because
Yeah.
Show rocked him. And, the funny thing afterwards,
Steve Regal.
And-
Regal broke the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Regal came in there like a spider monkey,
in a towel, I
had
think.
him in a towel. He had Khali fish hooked
Yes.
and had Khali's head ripped around the thing. It was impressive.
Yeah.
But I give Show grief, and I shouldn't even tell this story because I've never let him off the hook. Show was getting to him, right, and then these dressing rooms were like the fight happened obviously in the men's dressing room, but the women they had to come through the men's dressing room to get it was just nuts.
It was chaos.
And where was that? Puerto Rico?
It was some, yeah.
I don't remember where it was at.
I don't know.
But anyway, so they're fighting, right? 2 7-footers going at it, and they tripped over a bag or something like that, right? And so when they trip and they both fall, Show just happened to fall on bottom. So Khali, when Regal broke it up, Khali's on top, and although Show
And
got
you get points for that.
well, you do get points for it. So Show had rocked him.
You're gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, he's gonna be really mad, but he might be happy because I'm gonna finally let him off the hook here. So, but Show ends up on bottom, right? And so it gets all broke up, and they're separated, and Show's in the dressing room with me, and I'm just looking at him, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Dang, man, he had you down." Oh my gosh! I thought he was actually going to come across the room and attack me. He was so mad.
And you did it the next day too, because I remember you were doing it to him on the bus or something. He was getting mad.
Oh,
and then
God.
Khali was like, you said something about you got one good shot in. Khali's like, yeah, but my jaw only hurts from the fish hook. Like it wasn't the
he
it
didn't
wasn't
sell
the,
the
it wasn't
punch.
the right hand. It was the fish
It
hook.
was Regal's fish hook that came in there, and it was. That's quite a spectacle.
Oof.
I mean,
Who else?
Who
Scary.
else?
on the list.
Did I
Big
not
Show?
get them all?
No, sorry.
I'm
You got 3.
I'm
I
gonna
only got 3.
no. So Haku,
Mark, Show.
you, Show. I'll take Brock.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Um,
You said Yoke earlier, didn't you? Or did you say
I'd
Yoke?
take damn near any Samoan.
Samoan. Yeah.
You can't hurt them.
Yeah, you could have gone 5 deep on.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah,
Samoans.
I could have took Junebug. I could have took anybody on that. Let me think of somebody. I'm gonna just go
Just
off
saying.
the cuff. No, put that. Are you flexing over there?
Oh, it's just that big.
No.
She was looking in the screen at herself.
Jeez, this is what I got to put up with.
I see.
Who I'm missing somebody. I know there's somebody in there. Oh, you know I'm gonna take another. Just a little different. I'm gonna take Dick Slater.
Dirty Dick Slater.
I'm gonna take Slater, Haku, you, Show, and Brock.
Okay.
I'm
that's
gonna-
strong.
Man,
that's
that's a
strong.
line. That's
all right,
all-
who you got?
So I got offense. I
That's
got
strong.
offense
I
and
like it.
defense, and I got people that ain't gonna get hurt.
Okay.
Oh man.
Kind of like roadblocks. Just
Haku would be number 1. Brock would be number 2.
yes.
Ken Shamrock. And Kurt Angle.
Got one more.
Steve Blackman.
Okay.
Either Steve Blackman or Sean O'Hare.
Ooh, I just thought of Harley too.
Yeah, Harley
Yeah,
Race
Harley,
too.
yeah.
Ooh,
Eddie Guerrero and Kurt got into it. Or Eddie threw a punch at Kurt, which Kurt was
We're
like,
hearing this story. Yeah.
and then took Eddie down. And he said, "Man, what are you doing?" And he's like, "You're not going to show me up. You're not going to disrespect me." He said, "You trying to fight me? Do you know I'm an Olympic champion?" Like the Joker,
like-
the character Kurt Angle was real. That's who he was.
nothing worse
He's
than getting talked to or
He's
getting taken
talking
down.
to
While
Eddie
you're-
while
he's-
he was on the ground. And I was laughing. I wanted to try to break it up, but I couldn't get in there because there was so
Too
many
funny.
people trying to break it up. Because nobody wanted them to fight.
Right.
And I was like, he's like, "I'm an Olympic champion. What are you wrong? What's wrong with you?" Like it was, and Eddie said, "Because I'm stupid." Oh my God.
It was like it was written. It was like a written
it was
skit.
something that they
Yeah.
wrote in a movie.
Oh, that's
It
funny.
was the best I ever. And then we all end up standing there laughing.
That's funny.
Oh, it's great.
That's
And
a-
Eddie was like, "Hey man, like you got to respect the business, and you don't never show nobody up in the ring, like even if you can." And Kurt learned a valuable lesson that day. Like
As did Eddie.
stick to the script. They both learned that day. It was, man, wrestling was so fun, man. Like I feel so blessed to be able to say that I got to do that for a living.
1000%. All right, like 3 rapid fire questions
Okay.
that somebody deemed the last ride. So we'll go with this. Okay, who was your last travel buddy on the road? Last.
Titus O'Neil and Fred Rosser.
Okay.
Darren Young.
Who's your worst travel buddy on the road?
Viscera and Teddy Long.
No
That
hesitation.
was
Oh my
no,
God.
No
That was
hesitation.
so quick.
They smoked weed and got me high. The only time I ever been high in my life was that one tour. Like we drove from Toledo, Ohio to Cleveland, and I sat in the car for like 10 minutes after they had already got out. I'm
you,
just sitting there
Then you
like,
started getting hungry? Getting the munchies?
I didn't know I could walk. I had no clue that my legs could work.
So needless to say, you never traveled with
I
Godfather.
never rode with no. Viscera and Teddy, they laughed the whole time, and I was trying
They
to
were
sleep,
happy.
and I was in and out of rolling with my head out the window for about an hour. Like I'm just like, man, this is brutal, man. Like I got to get in the car with somebody else, and then I'm sitting there, and I remember Teddy Long coming back. Hey man, you gonna check in the hotel or what? And I was like, we here? Like man, that was the worst.
Okay.
Like you ever been high before?
No, no.
Don't do it.
But look, they did have to move Snoop's dressing room because we had to walk past it to go to hair and makeup at one show.
Mania.
And he pulled everybody
That
in.
was Mania,
It
I
was
remember.
Mania. And we're like, if we get randomly drug tested, like just
Oh,
from
everybody
contact
gonna
high,
fail.
we're all felon. So they ended up moving his room because that's all you could smell.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
that was
dang.
brutal.
All right, last wrestler you had a FaceTime call with. I feel like you probably do this often.
Shelton.
Oh, I miss Shelton.
I had a
I love
FaceTime with
Shelton.
Shelton because of JoJo.
Oh,
And he wanted to tell her congratulations for winning state in wrestling.
he's the best. Remember how when we go to any high altitude place, they'd always send Shelton out first?
To
They're
see
like,
how
we know if
horrible it
he's
was going to
sucking
be.
wind,
Yeah.
we are done.
So, hey,
Remember when Mexico City?
I was just about to say, no, that wasn't Mexico.
No. That was Quito,
Ecuador.
Ecuador. Quito,
yes.
Ecuador.
And y'all, you was in that shape that you was talking about, like, oh shoot, man, I'm ready to roll. They said, hey man, like it's the you go 1 mile that way, and it's the top of the mountain, and y'all said, oh, we going to the top. We're going to the top, and we was just standing there, not walking.
About 3 steps off the gondola.
Just got off the little trolley, and then I said, I can't believe that they walking up there to the top of Mount.
You said first, he goes, hey, I'm going to go ahead and wait here on you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait right here. And y'all started walking, and I think y'all got maybe 200 meters, 250 at the most, and then we barely getting able to get a good conversation in. We started talking. Yeah, man, like,
were sucking
what you
wind.
looking forward to? Hey, why they coming back? And we saw it.
We're done.
And y'all were struggling walking back.
It was thin.
Was it
Man,
that bad
let me
up
tell
there?
you. Oh,
Dude,
Because y'all went just another 50
Look.
feet up.
I
It
couldn't
where
breathe.
we were.
it was no. Oh my gosh.
Do you remember standing on the wall where they had the observation deck, and you could see the big
Oh, yeah.
airplanes
Yes.
flying
Flying in.
below where
Below
we were?
us, yes.
Yeah.
I have a picture of that. Yeah. Fit was there. Helms was there.
I was like, all right, y'all tell me how it was.
I think you said something about the planes. You're like, you're way too high.
Yeah.
Like when
when the
literally.
planes are flying below you.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked with
Visser
Visser
almost
that.
died.
Oh, I worked with him
That was, yeah.
that night, right? And I was a little nervous working with Viss anyway because he was out of shape. I lost a eye socket to him being out of shape years earlier. So I'm making my entrance that night to the building, and I'm looking under my hat and peeking through my hair, and I can see him. He'd only made an entrance. He didn't run. He didn't do
was
it. He's heaving already. And I remember getting in the ring and looking at him, and I could see the panic in his face already. And I called Kyoto over. I said, Mike, come here. I said, tell him at the bell to come at me with a clothesline. I'm going to duck it. He's going to turn around. He's taking a choke slam. I'm covering him. We're out. He was like, take. And I was like, tell him. So that's what happened. Boom, bang, boom. I have never been thanked so much for a match in all of my life. He thanked me. I mean, we got back to the dress. He was like, I couldn't breathe.
He was this color.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how gray he was?
Yeah.
I thought he was dying. The blood wasn't going to his skin.
rough.
Like when you see a human turn color, like he was dark like me, but he was like a complete gray.
Yeah, he was panicked.
And he was just laying there on the floor, and they gave him oxygen, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I'm glad that y'all did go home that fast.
Yeah, no, it was no.
If he would have done anything like I was thinking, like it would have killed him.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, it was about. I had like a 12-minute with entrances kind of deal planned out, but when I saw him, I was like, no, this ain't happening.
home.
We're heading to the house. But anyway,
Last question. Last cheat meal. I mean, we cheat all the time. I don't even think we eat that clean these days, actually. What's your last cheat meal?
All of them.
Just the last one.
The last one, I had
Give me a good one.
barbecue pork belly.
Wait, that's not cheating. Is it?
And no, it is where I had it. I don't know if you ever had you had burnt ends before.
Uh-huh.
So there's a place called Interstellar Barbecue. It's the only place in Austin that's got a Michelin star for barbecue. And they make burnt end pork belly.
Sounds good.
Sugar glaze, like brown sugar glaze.
Come on.
And they torch them, they smoke them, then they put them back on the pit, let them soak some of that smoke. It's incredible.
Talk to me.
And the
Oh, dirty too
two
bad.
homemade sausage. They have kielbasa, a pork sausage, and they make a beef sausage like a spicy fennel Texas sausage. Like you get deer sausage or something like that.
Right.
It's pretty much like the same taste, but no venison in it. And I got their banana pudding.
Stop.
I didn't mean to get emotional.
Whatever, banana pudding.
Tastes like my mama's banana pudding.
Oh, come on.
I don't give people that distinction very often, but they don't just hand the Michelin stars out.
No.
They earned
They
it.
make poblano. The side that I had
I don't even know what that is that you just said.
was poblano pepper cream corn.
Cool.
Oh, you have some green corn.
So I'm sitting there saying, "Hey, how you make this? I need to know."
'Cause you could,
And the
yeah.
guy's like, "Well, we cut up poblanos and garlic and onion and small, and we saute it down, and we put just a little bit of Mike's hot honey in it. They put hot honey in it, and they sauteing this down with a little olive oil, and then they put the cream corn.
Mix it in.
They cut the corn off the kernels.
Off the cob. They cut,
Gosh,
yeah.
Each kernel, yeah.
They cut it off, and then they saute it all down. Then they put heavy cream, and then they, man, the dude was talking, and I was like, I need a pint to go. I took a pint home. That's how good it was.
Okay.
So that was my the last thing that I ate that was just like really extravagantly wrong.
Wrong.
Like I felt
It sounds so
guilty.
right,
I had
though. It sounds so right.
I don't pray inside. You know, I might thank God for waking up, but like I go to God to pray. I go outside every morning. I go outside every night, and I look up and I pray. And I don't want God to feel like I'm coming, that He's got to come to me. I go to God,
I like that.
and I'm outside, like just
Thanking him for that barbecue.
thanking God for letting me have the experience
Yeah.
of going
Heck
and being
yeah.
that pleased.
Yep.
Like, oh man, it was so good.
Feeling
So
my belly.
they owe me some money for putting them over like this, cause
Or just some to go.
man,
We'll take to go.
everybody else, they gave me the food. I waited in the line for an hour and
No, you
17 minutes,
Wait.
and I never wait, and I don't never. If they would have came and got me out of line, said, Mark Henry, come on, man, come on, I would have went.
Yeah.
But I never asked nobody to skip the line. Mm-hmm. And so I stood in the line. Nobody came and got me, so I just stood there like everybody else. And I got to the front, and the guy said, hey, I can't charge you. And I said, why? He said, because my staff, like, they all love you. And
Well, they didn't love
told
me enough to come
Come
get me out of this damn
That's what I
line.
was thinking.
Man.
I don't know that
But
to
you
go
know
food.
what? One of the workers was walking by to come in to work because I was there. I knew that there was going to be a line. Mm-hmm. So before they opened the door, I was in the line. One of the workers walked by and asked me, "You want to come?" And I said no. So that's actually not a lie, but like I didn't go. It wasn't really. Somebody did ask.
But you're glad you stayed.
But you know what? I'm glad that I stayed in line because I talked to like 2 couples, and one couple in front of me had to go to the airport, and they were like, "Man, I just hope that they, we get up there." And probably 20 people from the door, they had to just. They had to go to the airport. I feel bad for them. But the people behind me were cool folks. I talked to them pretty much the whole time. So.
Well, Marcus,
We appreciate you coming and talking with us,
Mm-hmm.
man. It's always fun.
Oh yeah, I miss y'all,
I
man.
miss you too. Tell the family.
You always
hello.
gone. You always busy
tell
now.
Kaya,
I
like
know.
we got to do another.
Oh, she's so mad she couldn't stay out of school.
She asked.
man.
She started hitting me up, and then when I shut it down, then she started hitting her mom up like, "Well, I don't have anything. I
missed
think I
us,
really want to see Mr. Mark." And I was like,
We gotta go. I'm gonna come back out here next week when I bring Joe to practice, and like I would take them over to the Galleria and get froyo. So
Frozen yogurt.
like it's time for us to do a froyo trip.
Yeah, she's like, why can't I stay? And then she's like, Colt, you don't even know him like I do. I'm like, but it's not a competition.
It's not
Hey.
a competition.
I'm like, he might like Colt better than you. I don't know. She was mad though.
What time does she practice? with-
Well,
with
she
Mark?
just finished volleyball. Oh, practice with Mark. Like yesterday was 4:15 to like 6. But it just depends on the day.
Yeah, me and Joe might come like 30, 40 minutes early to practice. That way we can catch her out there.
I'm gonna text you.
I'll
We'll come
call
out there and
y'all
watch.
when I'm coming out here next week.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, thank you.
I miss
Thanks
her.
for coming.
Not that little hell child. Y'all got hell boy in the house. now.
Wow.
"Yeah, yeah."
Hell
Dang.
boy kicked me last time.
He kicked you?
Yes.
Does he not know who you are? Where was I at?
Were you there? Was she there?
It had
yeah,
to been.
you were there
Where?
at the WWE show.
He kicked you?
Yes.
He goozled Punk. It was great.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
he sure did. I mean, straight up. He he was standing on one of the chairs ringside, before doors open, and Punk came over and gave him a hug. Well, when he went to come give me a hug, like he hit the chair, and Colt went, the chair. He was fine. He got up. He just popped and went. I was like, oh,
Oh, that's what
sorry.
we're doing.
He
He's
You
a
know,
punk.
Punk
He straight
birthday
up
2
goozled
days
him.
ago.
No, but he straight up goozled Punk, and that was. I didn't know he
Bless
kicked
his
you
heart.
though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he kicked me. I told him, I said, hey, kick me again, I'm going to kick you back. And he was like,
He had that little grin on his face. didn't he?
yeah.
That
He
little,
was like, no, you're not. He tried me.
He tried you.
He survived.
I'm sorry. He's still learning. He's still learning.
Somebody
and all they
gonna
do
whoop
is
him.
fight.
Y'all know somebody gonna get him, right?
Oh yeah.
I just hope that y'all there so y'all could be like, see,
This is what
I
happened.
told you it was gonna happen. You picked the wrong one.
That Joker, we call him Little Chavo. He's constantly taking his shirt off, wanting to fight. And
Little
every time
Chavo.
that's what we do. We call
I
him Little
called Chavo
Chavo.
last week. His birthday was
Oh,
last
shoot.
week.
Yeah, we call him Little Chavo. We got a Little Chavo. So you
Y'all,
know what? We're
man,
in for it.
I
Just
got
like Chavo.
10 Chavo stories that I probably would get in trouble and get him in trouble telling these.
Talking about fighting.
Ooh, talking
Yeah.
about, no. The fighting is dancing.
Oh, yeah.
When he get
The shirt
liquored
comes
up,
off?
you
Yes.
So y'all remember when we got stuck in the UK when they had the volcano?
He wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
was there, but I was on the other side.
Oh, you was on the other where y'all had to run to the.
Oh, we had
to
18
a ship
different
or
modes of.
something?
Oh, we had so many different modes of transportation. Oh, it was- yes.
So we got stuck, and Seamus's mom and aunt came to the hotel to see us. And I was in my room playing video games. You know, I used to take my video game system on the road with me. And I'm in the room playing, my phone rings, it's Seamus. Mate, come downstairs, man. I want my aunt wants to meet you, and I want you to meet my mom. All right, I'm on my way down. I go downstairs, and this guy, I the shirt that I had on was raw silk. You know, I used to dress up back in the day.
Sexual chocolate.
And this guy came up with a Sharpie, and he thought the lid was on,
Oh.
which you really shouldn't poke nobody anyway. But he tapped me on my shoulder like this, like, excuse me, Mark Henry. And I look, and I could see these rings
Just
spreading,
suck the ink right out of that
sucking the
Sharpie.
ink right into my silk. And it's done. It's a dish rag now. $300 shirt, gone. And I said, why'd you do that, man? Like, I'm pissed off at the highest levels of festivity.
Already stranded.
Festivity.
Pissed.
And he goes, well, you don't have to be an asshole.
Oh no.
And I had just bought Shayma's mom and aunt a drink.
So you got to
And
stay.
the guy he's telling me you don't have to, as I'm reaching,
Oh no.
I take both drinks, throw them in his face. I told you I have regrets. So now I go to jail again while I'm over there.
What?
Yeah, I went to jail.
Did you know this?
I didn't know this.
I didn't know this, but wait.
So I go to jail. They put me in the general lockup with all of the vagrants and
For throwing the drinks in this guy's face?
yeah. And
Assault with a
they
deadly
took
drink.
Deadly
they
drink.
called it assault. So they took my belt, they took my shoelaces and all this stuff. I'm sitting there, and once again, like I'm like, if it's gonna go down, it's gonna be on my terms. And I told you want me to be the good guy because in bad situation I'm the worst. And I told the dudes, I said, look, this is my side, that's y'all side. Don't nobody come over here.
He calling shots. He just shot
This is
caller
already
in
like the
jail.
worst trip
I'm
ever.
sitting there with my back to the door, looking at them, and it looked like a scene in a movie where all the kids were sitting in the corner on the benches, and I had this side of the jail, they had that side.
So how long were you in jail?
About an hour and 45 minutes.
Not that
and
you were
then
young.
they came and said, hey, you're out of here, come on. And then they took me out of process and gave me my stuff back.
Last thing, because I know
And-
we've gone way too long, but do you remember when, was it Australia or Austria, when the TSA guys took my beef jerky and started eating it in front of me?
No.
Oh, you were so mad. Like, you're so mad you probably forgot. They'd already fined you, right?
Yeah, they almost shipped me back.
They almost shipped you back for having something.
Ostrom.
Ostrom jerky, but that's what but then they just took it out of my bag, and you were behind me or in front of me, and he started eating it right in front of me. And I'm like, you know how hungry you get on those overseas tours and on the buses? You
Yeah, it sound
blew
like
a
me.
gasket. I was like, oh man, he's over here about to get shipped back, having to pay a fine for jerky. This guy's eating it. Anyway, we love you. We
Oh,
appreciate
man, I
you.
love y'all too, man. It's fun. Catching up.
Oh, yes.
Poor Chavo. We didn't even get Chavo. He's mad at the dude. He's laughing. He's no shirt, dancing in the
course.
bar. And I throw the drinks, and he goes, ah, that's what you get. That's
sounds
what you
just like
get.
Chavo.
You've been an asshole all night. Like he just cut the promo on this guy. Oh, it was
Yep.
great. But that was what made me think of it is
Uh-huh.
Chavo
Oh yeah.
being so happy that the dude got the double drinks in his face. And then I had to, the rib was on me because I had to buy Shayma's mom and aunt
More
another
drinks.
round of
drink.
Another
drinks.
round of drinks before you. Oh
Like
man.
$60 for 4 drinks.
Dang. And a ruined shirt. Well,
Well, come back and see us again, man.
yes.
I will. I'll bring the missus with me next time.
Please do. Get us a little
She's,
workout in.